Howdy folks, this review or show and tell is all about FPV cameras. Here are 3 little FPV cameras from GEARBEST. Now I'm not really an FPV expert, I dabble a little bit, but I much prefer line of sight flying and I don't really care about mini quads. So what do we have? We have a PZ0420M. We have an OWL Plus, Runcam OWL Plus, which is optimized for nighttime flying or low light flying, and this is the Plus, which means it's infrared blocked, so it gives better colors during the day. And this one is the Foxeer XAT600M, or better known as the HS1177, and this is just the classic CCD FPV camera. Vast majority of people use this camera and have for quite a while. In fact, my standard FPV camera is an old version of the HS1177. People use it because it's CCD, so it gives a really good wide range of colours and reasonably wide dynamic range too. So you get sky detail as well as ground detail. The reason I bought it was because I like the shape of the case. It's a nice small case and it's a little bit aerodynamically shaped too. So it was a lucky buy about 2 years ago. Turned out to be an excellent camera. Alright, here's the PZ0420M, or the 420 I'll call it. It's 600 TV line. This is the PAL version, voltage from 5 to 17 volts. Lens 2.8mm, which is a nice wide angle lens, but not the widest possible. You get an AV cable there, you get the servo style power and video cable. You get a little settings changing cable here, and you'll see this one doesn't have a casing. It's just a straight board camera, and I believe this is almost identical to the HS1177, just without the casing. Here's the Runcam OWL Plus, 700 TV lines, voltage 5 to 22 volts. NTSC system, this one. So this one is optimized for low light or nighttime flying. You can get these in orange or black. Has the nice little owl symbol on there. I like the way they've marketed their cameras these days. The Swift with a narrow lens, the owl for night, and the eagle wide dynamic range. Let's have a look what's in the box. Get a lens cover, a mount, AV cable, settings changing cable, power in and signal out cable. So it's the Runcam OWL. And here we have the old classic, the Foxeer HS1177. 650 TV line black and white, 600 TV line colour, 5 to 22 volts. Same sort of stuff. We get a mount, power and signal, and the settings changing cable. We don't get an AV cable with this one. Now I have read that the 1177 and the 420 cameras are pretty much identical, just without the casing. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see how the performance compares. Let me know if you know more about this in the comments. So I have the camera plugged into a little transmitter here, and my LCD screen over here with a receiver in it. I've also plugged in the on-screen display and settings changer to this plug here. Plug the camera in, power it up. There we go, we've got image. So there's the camera image. Very nice indeed. The super highlights, the overblown highlights are a bit green maybe, but that's a very nice image from the 420. Let's have a look at the on-screen display. Press the button and exposure. Adjust the brightness, automatic gain control, digital wide dynamic range. Let's turn that on. Backlight for, well, that's a security camera setting really. White balance, image adjustment. Anyway, lots of stuff to play with. Very cool. Pull the 470 out, put the HS117 in. Now that looks very similar. Very similar looking image. Slightly green highlights again. Let's plug the adjuster in, which I can't really do unless I get those connectors there. Alright, I won't worry about that. So that's the HS1177. Alright, now it's time for the Runcam OWL. Now another very wide angle lens. Picture quality, well, it looks brighter, but it doesn't look as good colour wise as the HS1177. There we go, camera title. We can turn the camera title off. That's good. What you could do is put your own name on the camera title so that if someone else tunes in, they know whose feed they're looking at. It's not a bad idea. I'm using my old Bixler because that's just the most reliable and easiest plane I have, and it's easy to mount FPV gear on it. I still don't have a DVR, so I'm going to record the footage using a Canon S100 compact camera looking at my LCD screen. I have the FPV cam just taped on the front here. I have a 600 milliwatt transmitter here going through a power filter into the balance port of my Bixler, and I'm just going to swap the cameras out here and try different ones. So let's go. This is the PZ0420M Runcam. All recording. Time to launch. Going well. All right. So the picture quality from the 420 is fantastic. Great dynamic range, which means that you can be looking at the sun but still see ground detail. These are perfect conditions, by the way. But even in overcast conditions, these CCD cameras do a fantastic job. This is a 2.8mm lens, which isn't super wide, but perfectly good for flying FPV. Okay, now we've got the Foxeer HS1177, the old classic. Let's have a look. Now we're looking at the HS1177, and I have to apologise for the dodgy transmission. I actually did an auto scan on the LCD screen and it picked the wrong channel, unfortunately. But in my goggles the picture was perfect, and it was, I found, exactly the same as the 420, so they could well be exactly the same camera, just without a casing. Slight differences maybe. But again, wonderful camera. Best camera I own, or these style of cameras are the best cameras I own for FPV. Great dynamic range, great colours. Perfect. Nice. Alright, it's the Runcam OWL Plus now. Might be too bright for this camera. Let's go. So now the Runcam OWL, and the image from that looked a little bit brighter, a little bit more contrasty, I'd say, as I found in the shed, but it was fantastic. I really like the wide angle lens. Wider than the other two cameras, and if this is a nighttime optimized camera, then it's doing a fantastic job during the bright sunshine. Any of these three cameras would be fantastic, and each camera has its own sort of designed use. The 420 board cam style for an application where you need a board cam, and the HS1177 is just sort of a normal standard, but great quality. And the Runcam OWL really is for nighttime flying. Thanks very much to GEARBEST for providing these cameras for the review. I really enjoy comparing these little FPV cameras. Purchase links are in the description. Thanks for watching.